Hi everyone, it's James here from Pro Tools Expert, back with gear review heaven this time. Down there in the rack, just above my Pro Tools interfaces, you will see a pair of WA76 limiting amplifiers from Warm Audio. Now, we all know what these are cloned from, we all know what they're supposed to be, and we all know what they're supposed to do. But we also know how these things are supposed to sound, because we've heard 1176s and 1176, to use the term clones, on pretty much everything for the last billion years in audio. So, what makes these any different? Well, first of all, these ones have been modded, and I haven't stopped myself doing that too often. These ones have been modded to be a perfect stereo pair, and they also have a rather neat device that comes with them, a little switch that puts them into kind of hybrid stereo mode thing, so they work absolutely 100% in phase. Now, that's for another video, I'm afraid. This time we're going to use them as kind of bog standard 1176s. So, on the top one, I've got my kick drum, and on the bottom one, I've got my snare drum settings. Now, I'm running just a 3 mic session this time, kick, snare, and hat, just to keep things simple. I want you to hear how these things change the sound. We're not going to go through every permutation and option and tweakability factor, because quite frankly, you can do that. You already know how 1176s work, and if you don't, there are a billion tutorials out there to show you how to do it. But I think these things sound really great, and they sound especially really great for their price point. Depending on where you are in the world, these things are incredibly competitive. Certainly a damn sight cheaper than going out and buying, should we say, a genuine pair of UA 1176s. But these things sound absolutely incredible. So I'm going to do two takes, if you like. I'm using my UA 4710D as my main pre for the kick, snare, and hat. Now, the reason for doing that is they've got a rather neat switch on them that allows me to flick the insert in and out really, really quickly. So for both the kick and snare, I've set the 1176s up as I would when I'm kind of thinking about mixing. But at the moment, obviously, this is in the chain that's going to hit tape or going to hit Pro Tools. So we're committing. We talk all the time about making sure we commit to tape, the whole new way of working, limit your options later. If you get it right on the way in, it's going to sound great. Whether you choose to tweak it, compress more, excite it later on, you can't really uncompress, but you can always add more compression. Actually, multiple compression stages are generally better than just going boom and hitting it and slamming the living out of things in the first place anyway. Controversial, I know, but hey. So all I'm going to do is let you hear the drums as they are with no compression, just the pre's going straight to Pro Tools. Then I will flick in the insert switches on the 4710D, and then you'll hear the kick and snare with the WA76s inserted, if you like. So let's do that now. You'll see the difference massively on the Pro Tools waveforms as well, but you'll hopefully hear it as well. So this is take one, just the 3 mics, no compression, no limiting. Now, this is take 2, where I've kicked in the 2 WA76s on the kick and the snare. So I've had a moment to tidy up the very naked looking session for me and my drum tracks, but just have a listen so we can actually have a listen to the kick and the snare individually. First of all without and then with. That's the kick without, and now with. This time the snare, without, certainly see it's controlling the transients a lot better around when I really go for it. In fact, in either, there's not the dynamic variation. Kick with, kick without. Snare without. And snare with. As I definitely said, I really like to use compression on the way in just to make sure I'm not going to have any real major errors. So it's quite a gentle, quite subtle effect, but you can definitely hear a kind of fattening of the kick drum and of the snare drum. In the next part of the review for this thing, which will be in a couple of weeks after I get back from a little trip to France, more on that later, we'll be looking at using the WA76s as a stereo pair of compressors and using this little dude, which goes into a couple of little jack sockets on the back, which is an adaptation that the guys at Nova Distribution in the UK have done, a little tweak. So we get a really neat, really tight phase coherence between left and right channels, or channel 1, channel 2, depending on what you would call it. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I've been James from Pro Tools Expert, and I'll see you again soon for some more gear talk.